Welcome back to the woods. As I'll discuss later, I set out to make a more epic video for today, but after having some car trouble, I've been on a short leash, foraging my nearby woods for photo ops. However, what I may have mistaken for misfortune actually turned out to be very favorable, as a forest... Sorry. I hear ducks. I hate to break up a party of ducks, but I know I'm gonna walk right past where they're probably hanging out. I'll try to be quiet. As a forest fog gave me stunning sunbeam conditions to chase through those familiar trails and tree trunks. Let's get into it. Somewhat miraculously, I did manage to evade the detection of those ducks, so they got to just party on duck style. So I think the last time I came to you on camera, I was just wrapping up that 12-part series that I recorded, and I closed it out with a remark, something to the effect of, I'm really looking forward to just getting out and making some regular, simple photography vlogs.
Regular, little, simple photography vlogs.
Very true. But today, I'm back out in my home patch of woods. This is not the video that I had planned for today. Actually, after I published that last video, which was sort of on the theme of printing, the whole video was about printing, I got slammed with print orders, which is great. That's the point of the video. Mission accomplished. But I actually had so much printing to do that I actually had to kick myself out of the house to make a video on Monday over the 3-day holiday weekend, and I set out to like a really great area that I thought would be awesome to make a video. It was 3 hours from home in the middle of nowhere, and I got out to the location and I was gonna like camp and the whole thing, and my car broke down and wouldn't start back up. The charging system has quit. So I thought, you know, it was like an hour till sunset, and there was one car like within a mile. And I thought I better get a jump start from this car and start making my way back home. So I just scrapped that whole video. I actually spent all day like getting jump start from town to town to town just to make it home, like just right at midnight. So it was an eventful day, but not a great day for photography. Look what we got going on here. So I came out to my woods today because there's a decent atmospherics. It's dissipating pretty quickly, so I think I might get my camera out now and just take some photos here in this area. I started by taking some basic handheld documentary shots like this. That way if the fog dissipated, I'd be assured I at least had a couple images. However, once I realized more fog was rolling into the area where I'd stopped, I invested more time into compositions that showcased those dramatic sunbeams. You may have seen me make photographs in this woods before, and you might be surprised to hear this because this woods is full of a lot of really old, interesting trees. I've actually gone this way today chasing the light into a somewhat younger area of the forest. So in this younger part of the woods, those older, very characteristic trees really stand out among these younger trees. Oh my gosh, I think I've got to catch this. I may have time to get this one with a tripod, so we'll give it a quick shot. And I slightly took advantage of the extra time that I had to get the camera on the tripod, to get it down to base ISO, to get some half-second exposures at ISO 100, utilizing the 2-second shutter delay as well. So should get some good, sharp, clean images here of the scene. It's been a great morning here in the woods. After investing some time into setting up the tripod, I was able to devote what light I would be graced with to refining the composition. I particularly needed to find something that didn't rely so heavily on the fog. For instance, without the help of the dramatic lighting, this scene would look like any other messy snapshot in the woods. In other words, it would look like this. Let me show you that difference again. 1 and 2. Now what'll really have you practicing your camera technique is that these two images were taken 2 minutes and 17 seconds apart. So when it comes to working your camera, it's handy to be handy and timing is key. But frankly, the fact that I was able to make all the images I'm about to show you and set up, conduct, and host a multi-angle video during that 2 minutes is a testament to the work I put into getting better at filming these very fast-paced photo experiences. So I hope you'll forgive that I didn't have time to set up a microphone, and if you enjoyed this very difficult to execute video in any way, a simple thumbs up, a comment, or a share are all free, easy ways to give me the digital attaboys that may be keeping me alive at this point. Oh, and thanks for subscribing too. I've been so happy with what I've been able to achieve compositionally to refine this image down to an image that's just about this really beautiful looking tree here with the split really catching the sun rays right down the middle. So I'm going to focus a little more on this scene, but I just wanted to show you what I'm working on. While I'm cleaning up here, I'll also mention that I am taking some bracketed exposures here because the tree's so dark. So hopefully once I've got all the exposures, I'll have a good exposure for the really detailed part of this tree here. It's an old maple tree, I think, and also some good darker exposures to really show the detail in those sun rays behind the tree. I wanted to take away something bright and vibrant, so I started with a photo of this detail and processed it with a high key treatment, and then I zoomed back out to make the images of the larger scene. This image was the main culmination of my morning's leg and camera work, and I'll show it off in all its green glory at the end of the video at this time. Well, these sun rays just totally defied my expectations. They came in even stronger, and I've been able to get some really good captures here. So I'm shooting with a 24-70 f2.8. I'm going to get it all the way out at 70 millimeters and take the camera a little deeper into the woods to see if I can catch the last of the sun rays. And then, you know, I don't want to leave just because there's no sun rays. I actually came here primarily for recreation and secondarily for photography. So I'll continue to hike around after I capture this last couple images and maybe find a really stellar scene and catch it in ordinary light. So nice. I find I get a fog like that in the woods probably a few times a month, so you know it's good to find it, but to have one where the conditions linger to where I could do what I did and both first focus on the composition, but then later also get the camera on a tripod so that I could lower the ISO and get a higher image quality. That's really rare. So I promise I actually set out to make this video to, you know, sort of show something commonplace and everyday, not expecting to get those really awesome conditions, but you know, I'll definitely take what I get. Actually, I did a portfolio review for a viewer earlier this week, and hi to that viewer if you're watching. And you know, something I think very encouraging that I told her that I'll tell you for free is that if you review a lot of landscape portfolios, you'll realize that the difference between a really strong standout portfolio and a mediocre one is that a strong portfolio is made over the course of years or decades, and a mediocre one typically features images that are made in like a season or a couple seasons, maybe even a couple years. So you know, I'm convinced after doing this as long as I have that really strong portfolio that you and I are both seeking to create is just a couple years around the corner of continually revisiting these scenes that we love to find them in those perfect conditions. Okay, I'm on my way around this bend and down to a hill to a little clearing that I've been checking out for a while, and I have no idea how to photograph this area. I don't typically take this route around through this woods, but I just want to stop at this area so that I can formulate some ideas and, you know, let this keep percolating. Maybe this can be a more regular spot that I visit when I come. Okay, what else can I talk about? The Adam Gibbs video. I'm sorry. No, like, I had made this promise that if the channel reached 100 subscribers, and we're at like 140 now, and nearly a third of those are from the Adams Gibb video. So thank you to all the new subscribers, and hello and welcome. And this is more what I normally do, not sitting in my living room reading a script to the camera. But yeah, I promised that we would make this video reviewing the Adam Gibbs photo that I ordered. And you know, that happened. I hit the 100 subscribers at like the most untimely time possible, right when I was like 2 weeks behind schedule recording the last episode for that series that I was making. And so I thought, you know, it won't hurt to, you know, provide a little continuity and make a quick video on that. So I like typed up this essentially like college essay, because that's what I type a lot of now, and I like sat in my living room and basically read the essay to the camera with a loop of obnoxious electric piano music happening in the background for 30 minutes. And I think that a video like that probably would have been fine as like cooking background music for the, you know, couple dozen people that normally watch my videos. But for some reason, out of all the videos I made in the last couple years, YouTube selected that one to show to 20,000 photography enthusiasts across YouTube. So I don't know what those people were expecting when they clicked on my video, but apparently it was not a dude sitting in his living room reading a pretentiously worded essay to a background music, a relentless background music of piano keyboard music. So yeah, I'm sorry guys. Mostly if I'm sorry about anything, it's that maybe I didn't do the best service to the image that I was reviewing. I promise if I do an image review like that again of another artist's work, that I'll try to do better service to their work. But aside from that, you know, I don't always make the best videos. We're all learning. I did get some good constructive feedback. I got a few viewers who like helped take that conversation into some interesting new directions. And you know, thanks to everyone that watched the video. For everyone that I disappointed, I'm sorry to you also. How did I say this to myself? I think I disappointed more old white men than the results of the 2012 presidential election. This is the spot. Okay, what do we got here? There's a good old tree here anchoring this scene, and there's a ravine down here, and then that leads up to an uphill area. So there is some good contour to the landscape as well. In the winter, this is a lot more clear, so you can see all these things at once. So that's really my initial impression for this scene, is it's more someplace to visit when it's not so crowded up with foliage and leaves. Yeah, it's very hard to see anything of this. So I'm just going to continue on the trail and should pop out here in about a mile back in the area of my car. But I would like to get one more photo before I leave, so we'll see. Box turtle standing his ground. It knows that it's a protected species in the state of Indiana. I read an interesting article about that once. First off, you notice that box turtle's eyes are red. That means probably she's a she box turtle. Secondly, like, even though the numbers of the box turtle are stable, apparently it's a protected species because, you know, like the incursion of civilization into nature is set up, especially in this like grid-like fashion. It's almost impossible for the box turtles to mate, because unlike other animals, they don't have like mating calls and they can't get around very well. So basically, like, for two box turtles to mate, they have to essentially like bump into each other, right? So like literally run into each other. So because they usually get killed trying to cross roads, and there are so many impediments to their mobility, the odds that two box turtles of opposite sexes will encounter each other is actually like shockingly low, and so they're afraid that this is just going to cause a steady decline in the population. So if you're ever curious about the protected status of box turtles in Indiana, that's the reason why. Okay, just before I head out, I did find one more shot, and because it's like my extra shot, I'm just gonna go for something here, and like if it works, great, and if it doesn't work, that's fine as well. If it doesn't work, it'll just be because of the time, because I really like the composition I've got here with this grouping of trees, and maybe even isolating it down to just a couple of trees here in this area. where there's a nice overarching shape coming over the scene, and it's framing in some of the sunbeams that are coming down. Those conditions are only going to last for, you know, a couple of minutes. I said that before, but I think this time is true. It's very late for the sunbeam effect to be going on, and it's only coincidentally still happening because these trees are up on a hill. So and there's still mist in this area because I just came back through that swamp that I first came through when I got to the area. So I'm going to set up and see if I can make something out of it, and if not, I'll at least capture that shape of the trees that I like, and it could be something to work on for later. You see this buckle's totally out of sorts, and it is not about to release my tripod, so I took some photos handheld, unfortunately, and that's all the option that I had. By the time I finished fussing with my camera bag, the sunbeams were all gone, but I capped off the morning with this horizontal that shows off the shape of the landscape, and then this vertical that deals more in the shape of the tree. While we're nearby, here are a couple images I made of these same trees this spring when I was too busy with the other video project thing to share this. So yeah, once again, timing is key. And this is my morning's sunbeam photo. Now this could have turned out like the other photos I shared earlier, and really I would have been proud to share it just the same, but the rarity of that lingering fog allowed me to search first for this great subject and locate a vantage point from which to frame it up in surroundings that are lush and complementary, but not messy, distracting, and obtrusive. And the likelihood of all those opportunities aligning are partly the payoff of some luck, but also the work of familiarization and practice with the camera, the process, and the location. Normally this is the part of the video where I try to sell you a print of this or something, but I'm actually slowing down my prints and my photography generally in preparation to leave the country in a few weeks, and I'll be gone all the way through the end of the year. So if you've been wanting a print, now is definitely the time. But for now, it's honestly just as appreciated if you can leave a like, if you can follow me on social media, especially if you want to see what I'm up to abroad, and send me over there with a healthy number of subscribers so I don't look like a total loser. And if you want to help me with some car trouble, buymeacoffee.com/Matt Ramsey is a great place to drop me a kind donation. Well, I'd have to say that before today's successful experience, I was feeling quite a bit restricted by my car situation. I'm sort of restrained to a short distance from home. While this may not have been the grand photo adventure that I had planned for last week, I can't complain about the images that I captured. In fact, I had a great morning here at my local woods. So thanks for tagging along. Until next time, you guys keep an eye out and a foot forward. I'll see you later. Guess I should at least pop the hood.